Episode 37, The Fallout. Canterlot Royal Hospital. Starlight lying in her bed crying. The door to her room opens. Starlight drying her tears as Shadow enters. Get out! Shadow walks over to Starlight's bed. Starlight, I never meant to. Starlight slaps Shadow in the face with her hoof. After everything I've done for you, we lost our baby and it's all your fault. I never meant to hurt you. I tried to fight the evil urges Chrysalis' spell awakened inside me. The real me would never hurt you because I love you. Liar. I tried to break the spell by kissing you, but my kiss didn't work. To me, that's even more heartbreaking than us losing our baby, because it's proof that you don't love me, Shadow. If you did, then my kiss would have broken the spell. I don't know what else to say other than I am sorry. I showed up thinking I was going to save all of you from Chrysalis, not become her evil slave. I can forgive you for falling under a spell, but I can't ignore the fact that you physically hurt me, even after I tried breaking the spell with a kiss that if I were your true love, would have broken it. I can't marry you, Shadow. As a matter of fact, I don't even want you in my life or in my home any longer. Your actions today broke my heart, the worst it's ever been broken, and I'd really appreciate it if you just left me alone so I can grieve our baby alone. Starlight begins crying heavily. Shadow attempts to comfort her. I don't think you really mean that, even if you're angry with me right now. Yes, I do. I gave you every ounce of love I had to give over the years, and I'm still madly in love with you, but I can't live a lie knowing I'm not the one you really love. I mean it when I say our engagement, our relationship, and everything about us is over, Shadow. If you love me, or even respect me at all, you'll leave, because right now, I don't feel anything for you, other than anger and resentment. Chrysalis got her revenge on me, just like she promised. Today, I lost the two most important things in my life, you and our baby. I really can't stand the sight of you right now. Please, just leave me alone, so I can grieve in peace. Fine, but I want you to know that I'm sorry, and that I'm not giving up on us, Starlight. You already have. Shadow respects Starlight's wishes and exits the room. What have I done? Nighttime, around 5 p.m. Twilight's castle. Spike and Rouge sitting in Twilight's den. A fire is lit in the fireplace in an attempt to heat the half-destroyed castle. Rouge takes a sip of hot chocolate from her mug. How do you think they're doing, Spike? I'm not sure. In the past, I would guess everything would work out for Twilight's team, but Chrysalis is so much more lethal and dangerous this time around. Part of me wishes I would have gone with them. Sparkles is my best friend, and I feel guilty I'm sitting here while her life hangs in the balance. I'm glad you stayed to keep me company, Rouge. I'd be going out of my mind with grief just thinking about Cream. It's a shame what happened to her. I'm sorry I lost her, Spike. Cream was a real sweet and genuine girl who never meant any harm to anyone. She certainly didn't deserve the fate she was dealt, and neither do you deserve the heartache that came with her death. Oh. Spike crying. I love her. It's only been a day, and I miss her terribly. Right now we would be walking home from Rarities together. Cream meant everything to me. How am I supposed to go on with my life without her? Rouge puts her arm around Spike and gives him a friendly kiss on his cheek. Honestly, you'll probably never heal completely, but as time moves on, you'll continue living life. You'll live with Twilight. Knowing her, she'll find a way to keep you occupied. Yeah, you're right about that. Being Twilight's assistant does keep me incredibly busy. Still, it was nice having a girl like Cream. It felt amazing having her love me the way she did. She made every day worth living. Twilight walks into her half-destroyed castle. Twilight makes her way into the den. Sparkles! Hi, Rouge. Spike. I heard about Cream from Rainbow Dash. I am so sorry. If I had only made it to Rarities like I had intended, there's a chance I might have been able to get her to the hospital in time. Don't put any of the blame on yourself, Twilight. Cream's death is on Chrysalis and the Changelings that attacked Ponyville yesterday. I exacted my revenge upon the Changeling swarm responsible for her death. I heard about that from everyone. Sonic had to absorb a Chaos Emerald to bring you down in order to stop your rampage. I was in shock when I returned to Ponyville just now and saw the aftermath of what happened here yesterday. So what happened in Canterlot? It's over, Spike. We used the elements of harmony to turn Chrysalis into stone. We almost didn't win the battle because Shadow attempted to rescue us and defeat Chrysalis himself last night. Chrysalis sealed Shadow in a cocoon and tried to feed on his love this morning, but was disgusted at the taste of it because Shadow still had evil in his heart. So instead, Chrysalis used the evil inside of Shadow to cast a spell on him to awaken the evil in his heart. Needless to say, Shadow nearly killed us all, but somehow we managed to prevail. Speaking of Shadow, have either of you seen him? He's been missing ever since I broke the spell on him. No, he hasn't come here. I would think he went home with Starlight. Starlight is still at Canterlot Royal Hospital recovering from her miscarriage today. Once I was able to break the spell on Shadow, he immediately went to go see Starlight, and I haven't seen him since. Anyway, I'm pretty exhausted from all the fighting over the past 2 days. Tomorrow I have a busy day going around Ponyville to assess all the damage done by the Changelings during yesterday's attack. Princess Celestia wants a full report so she can help out in any way possible. Spike, I'm also going to plan a funeral service for Cream here at the castle, or rather what's left of it, for Friday at noon. That sounds... it sounds... Twilight uses her magic to lift Spike into her arms. Sorry for the background noise, guys. Family just got home. Oh, Spike, I'm really sorry you're going through this awful heartache. I really love Cream for you. You both were so happy and in love. I can't believe it was taken away from you both. Why does this always happen? Every time I fall in love, my heart gets ripped to shreds. Maybe Ember was right when she told me dragons weren't meant to experience love. Well, you, Spike, are not the prototypical dragon. That's why you're the friendship ambassador to the dragons. In fact, it's because of your relationship with Princess Ember that there's finally peace between the ponies and the dragons. Spike, I can assure you it's because of your kind, loving, and generous heart that the dragons have finally discovered the importance of love and friendship for themselves. So don't say things like dragons weren't meant to experience love, because all of our friends absolutely love and adore you, Spike. And most importantly, I love you, Spike. Twilight kisses Spike on his cheek. Meanwhile, the Cloud Dominion, Rainbow Dash, Sonic, Rarity, and Silver enter. Rarity's wings disappear as the Pegasus potion wears off. Wow, talk about perfect timing!
Good thing we flew up here when we did. Anyway, you guys make yourselves at home.
I want to extend my gratitude for allowing Silver and I to stay here.
You don't have to thank me. You guys are my friends, and your home was destroyed by the changelings. I couldn't let the two of you be homeless.
Well, Silver and I are only going to stay for a few days. I have a loft at my Canterlot boutique. Silver and I can live there temporarily, until I have my boutique and home rebuilt here in Ponyville. Until then, I can run my business from Canterlot.
Seriously, you guys are welcome to stay as long as you need to.
Rainbow Dash, you and Sonic are newlyweds. And you've been married for 4 days, and have had no time to be in intimate sense, with all the fighting we've had to do against the changelings. Honestly, darling, you and Sonic need time alone together, and with my headquarters being destroyed here in Ponyville, the only way I can operate my business efficiently is by living in the loft above my boutique in Canterlot.
Well, we're sure going to miss you guys around here.
It'll only be for a few months until my boutique gets rebuilt. Ponyville has been and will always be my home. My entire family lives here, and my family includes all my dear friends who have been so loving, kind, and supportive of me all these years.
Thanks, Rarity. That means the world to me. And thanks again for having my back today. Any pony or hedgehog need a hard cider?
Sonic attempts to sit down.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a glass, Dash.
Rarity, Silver?
Absolutely, I want a hard cider.
Sure, after the day we've all had, why not? You can say that again. The girls are less beat up than we are, Silver. They not only beat up on the changelings, but they kind of beat up Shadow a little bit, too.
Rainbow Dash enters the kitchen. She begins filling glasses with hard cider.
That's because the Harnesses of Harmony are totally awesome. But in all seriousness, though, Knuckles is the real hero today. If he hadn't knocked Shadow out when he did, there's a good chance we'd all be dead right now.
It's about time Knuckles finally dealt some punishment and retribution on Shadow. Shadow has beaten Knuckles up badly a couple of times during our days on Mobius, so it's nice to hear that Knuckles finally returned the favor on him.
Rainbow Dash re-enters the living room with the glasses of hard cider. Rainbow Dash begins handing everyone their glass. Rainbow Dash sits down. Rarity takes a sip from her glass. Ah, that really hits the spot. Thanks, Rainbow Dash. How long do you have before Lily Blossom buys this house of yours, Dash?
Well, we don't have an official closing date yet, but Lily Blossom and I mutually agreed to wait until after the new year before we finalize anything.
I'll say, it's rather exciting having Fluttershy's sister moving to Ponyville. I know Fluttershy is very excited about it, too. Have you and Sonic decided on where you'll be living? I know you own that house out in Hoofsdale Valley.
With me being so busy teaching the recruitment class and getting married to Sonic, I've been too busy to even start looking. Sonic and I do know one thing for certain, and that's us staying right here in Ponyville. Like you, I also feel like there's something special about this town, so I definitely want to stay here. It's our home.
Sweet Apple Acres. Applejack and Knuckles enter the farmhouse. Applejack and Knuckles both are limping from the battle against Chrysalis. Apple Bloom rushes in to hug her sister Applejack.
Applejack, I've been worried sick about you and Knuckles all day. I take it you and your friends kicked Chrysalis's butt.
I wouldn't necessarily say it like that, but you don't have to worry anymore about Chrysalis. We defeated her using the elements of harmony. Apple Bloom breaks her embrace with Applejack and embraces Knuckles. Knuckles kisses Apple Bloom's cheek. It's so great seeing you right now, Apple Bloom. Did you enjoy your day off from school?
No, not really. I spent the entire day worrying about y'all. I couldn't even focus on helping Granny make supper.
What did you and Granny Smith make for dinner? because after spending the entire day fighting, I'm pretty famished.
Granny made chili because it was so cold outside, and we made homemade apple fritters for dessert.
It smells mighty delicious, but I'm going to hold off and eat later. I just want to soak in a nice hot bath. Do you mind if I join you, AJ? I was hoping you would, Nux. Apple Bloom, do you know if you have school tomorrow?
Nope, school is canceled for the rest of the week. The changelings and Spike did a substantial amount of damage to parts of town.
Well, don't think you're off the hook from helping with the cleanup of Ponyville. Twilight and the rest of us are going to be taking photos of the destruction here in town and sending them off to Princess Celestia so she can send some ponies in to help with the rebuilding process. Nux, are you ready for that hot bath? Absolutely. Thanks for helping Granny Smith make dinner, Apple Bloom. It smells great, and I can't wait to heat some up later.
You'll have to tell me what you think of it, especially the apple fritters, because I made them from scratch by myself. Enjoy your nice, relaxing bath, you guys. Thank goodness I have headphones.
Nux, I'll be up and I'll start the bath. Do you mind grabbing a couple of glasses of apple cider before you head on up yourself? Yeah, sure. Applejack heads upstairs while Knuckles takes his shoes off and heads for the kitchen. Applejack enters the bathroom and starts the hot bath for her and Knuckles. She very quickly goes into her bedroom and grabs a couple of candles and sets them up around the bathtub. Knuckles is in the kitchen grabbing 2 champagne glasses out of the cupboard. He fills both glasses with hard apple cider. Applejack lays down on the floor and takes off her cowboy hat and takes her red hair ties out to allow her long blonde mane to flow across her body. Knuckles heads upstairs and enters the bathroom. So, answer me this question, Nux. Do you know what the reward is for a guy who not only defends his mayor's honor, but also fought bravely in a battle that saved Equestria? Wow, Applejack. I'm not sure, really. Then I'll show you, Nux. Applejack gets off the floor and begins slowly French kissing Knuckles. Applejack leads Knuckles towards the bathtub. Applejack lays down in the water. You're so incredibly beautiful, AJ. I love you. I know you do, and I love you too, Nux. Thanks for defending me after Chrysalis knocked me out and taking down Shadow to allow us to use the elements of harmony to save Equestria from Chrysalis. Knuckles sets the glasses of apple cider down and enters the bathtub with Applejack. They relax in each other's arms as they kiss. Sugar Cube Corner, Pinkie Pie's apartment. Pinkie Pie and Manic are snuggling on the couch together. I was so scared I was going to lose you today, Double P. I was going out of my mind just sitting here all day, trying to get my mind off you risking your life in that battle against changelings. I really wanted to go with you guys.
Manic, you suffered a concussion during the attack on Ponyville yesterday. There's no way you've been able to fight in the battle today. In a lot of ways, I'm thankful you didn't fight with us today. For a while there, it looked like we were the ones who were going to be defeated. If it weren't for Knuckles knocking out Shadow, we would have lost for sure.
So, why did Shadow betray you guys? Not that it surprises me that he did.
Chrysalis put Shadow in an evil spell when she realized there was still evil left in his heart. Your brother took a pretty good beating at the hands of Shadow, but it didn't stop him from trying. Once Knuckles knocked out Shadow, it gave us a chance to regroup to use the elements of harmony on Chrysalis.
That's cool. I wish I would have been able to see it though.
In other news, Twilight is going to have a memorial service for Cream on Friday at noon at her castle. I feel really sad for Spike. He loved Cream so much.
I know, poor little dragon dude. Spike was Cream's first real love. I think they would have been together forever had those changelings not killed her. It's proof that life is precious and should never be taken for granted. Pinkie, I don't ever want you to go through life without knowing how much I deeply care about you, and even more importantly, how much I love you. Pinkie Pie smiles at Manic.
And I want to show you how much I love you, Manic.
Manic lifts Pinkie Pie up as Pinkie wraps her legs around Manic. They continue passionately kissing one another as Manic carries Pinkie Pie to bed. Manic gently places Pinkie Pie into bed as she keeps her legs wrapped around him. Now this is one hell of a victory party.
And we're just getting started.
Manic pulls the covers over himself and Pinkie Pie as they begin kissing again. Manic and Pinkie Pie make love and fall asleep happily together. Fluttershy's cottage. Chris is up in Amy's bedroom.
I'm so happy to see you alive. I was worried sick all day, just hoping that when I said goodbye to you this morning, that it wasn't going to be the last time.
Touches Chris's cheek where Shadow punched him.
I can't believe Shadow hurt you again.
It wasn't his fault, Amy. Chrysalis put him under an evil spell and turned Shadow into her slave. He only attacked us because it's what Chrysalis ordered him to do. I got off pretty easy compared to Cream. Speaking of which, Twilight is having Cream's funeral on Friday at noon. Amy begins to cry.
I still can't believe Cream is gone. Chris, she was my best friend. I loved her like she were my sister.
Usually it's the innocent lives that become the bulk of the casualties during a battle. A lot of innocent lives were lost here in Ponyville yesterday during the Changelings' invasion. Cream didn't have anything to do with the battle, and yet she's the one that gets killed. I remember how excited Cream was when she saw me for the first time in over a decade, when I first arrived here. I don't understand how this could have happened to Cream. She was easily the most warm-hearted, loving, and caring being in existence. She loved all of us, and she always tried to find the good in everyone. She never meant anyone or anything any harm at all, and yet she had her life stolen away from her, just as she was starting to live it, too. It's just not fair! Chris completely breaks down as the realization of his friend Cream's death has just sank in. Amy wraps her arms around Chris as they cry over Cream together.
You're right, Chris. It isn't fair. But it's like you said, the innocent are usually the ones who pay the highest price when it comes down to casualties in a battle. The Changelings were trying to kill Rarity when they blew up her boutique, and unfortunately, Cream was the only one there.
Fluttershy knocks on the door and enters.
I'm sorry. I hope I'm not interrupting anything important between you two. No, you're fine, Fluttershy. How's Tails doing? He just fell asleep on the couch. My poor, brave little fox took quite a nasty punch from Shadow today. He suffered a mild concussion, but otherwise he's fine. I'm just glad that we finally beat Chrysalis for good, and that Twilight broke the spell Chrysalis had on Shadow.
Part of me wonders, though, can we trust Shadow even after the spell was broken? I mean, let's face facts here. He has had a dark and treacherous track record. He worked for Dr. Eggman, tried to destroy Earth, and has tried to kill Sonic, among so many other things as well. It just makes me a little nervous knowing that if Shadow ever truly wanted to do so, he could easily take over all of Equestria with his power.
I don't know. He seemed pretty remorseful once Twilight kissed him in order to break the spell. I truly don't believe Shadow meant to hurt any of us. Chrysalis's magic is very powerful, so powerful that not even Shadow could fight falling under his spell.
Wait, Twilight kissed Shadow to break the spell?
Unfortunately, Starlight's kiss didn't break the spell. After we turned Chrysalis into stone, Shadow remained under Chrysalis's control, so some pony still had to break the spell. I wasn't aware that Twilight and Shadow were secretly in love with each other until her kiss broke Chrysalis's spell.
I know I haven't been the most morally correct hedgehog alive, but don't you two think it's wrong for the Princess of Friendship to be in love with her best friend's fiancé?
I have known Twilight for a very long time. I don't think she'd attempt to break Starlight and Shadow up for her own selfish desires. Maybe Twilight's kiss worked because Shadow is in love with her.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't known Twilight for very long, but I do find it hard to believe that a princess like her would ever be in love with a guy like Shadow.
You two need to get a clue. Flash broke up with Twilight because Twilight admitted that she was in love with Shadow. What? I didn't know they broke up. I thought Flash moved back to Canterlot temporarily to help defend Canterlot Castle from the changelings. Oh my, I hope Starlight never finds out about how the spell on Shadow was broken then.
Twilight's castle. Twilight attempts to sneak out of the castle unnoticed. Spike catches Twilight. Oh, hey, Twilight. Twilight startled. Oh, Spike, you scared me half to death. It's after midnight. What are you still doing up? The same reason you are, apparently. I couldn't sleep. Thinking about Cream? Yeah, what's your excuse? I was thinking about something that happened during the battle today, and I was going to go for a walk to clear my head. I did something that I'm ashamed of to save a friend, but in the process I may have betrayed another. Do you want to talk about it? Only if you promise not to tell any pony else what I'm about to tell you. I promise. Starlight's kiss didn't break the evil spell Chrysalis had on Shadow. It was mine, Spike, which means Shadow is in love with me. I'm elated to know that he feels that way about me, but I feel so horrible, too, for betraying Starlight. I don't know what to do, Spike. Does Starlight know that it was your kiss that broke the spell? I don't think so. I went to Canterlot Royal Hospital after we defeated Chrysalis to check on Starlight. She didn't give any indication that she knew that I broke the spell. Spike, I don't want to hurt Starlight. I feel horrible that I kissed Shadow, but I knew my kiss would break the spell on him. Had my kiss failed, we would have had to use the elements of harmony on him, and I couldn't allow that to happen. I love him so much, Spike. What else was I supposed to do? For what it's worth, Twilight, you made the right decision, in my opinion. Feeling guilty about kissing Shadow and breaking an evil spell is far less worse than what you'd be feeling had you had to use the elements of harmony on him. At the end of the day, your kiss saved Shadow's life, essentially. So you shouldn't feel horrible about it. So where were you really going just now? When we arrived back home here in Ponyville, I noticed that the lights were on at Starlight's house. I'm assuming Shadow is at home right now, and I can't help but want to see him and talk about the kiss we shared today. I can't stop thinking about it, Spike. That's why I can't sleep. He kissed back. Twilight, you can't go see him. You kissing him to break a spell is innocent, but going over there to see him after the fact to discuss it, knowing there's feelings between you guys, is asking for trouble. The logical side of me already knows that, but I have to see him, Spike. But Twilight, if you pursue Shadow, it's no different than what Rarity did to me with Silver. You'd be betraying one of your best friends. Do you want to be responsible for Starlight's heartbreak? No, of course not. I just need some clarity and some answers from him. Believe me, I have no intentions of making a move on him. By all means, Twilight, do whatever you need to do. I believe if you go over there now, you're going to do something that you'll regret. Please try to remember the pain Silver put me through when I found out he kissed Rarity. What you're doing right now is no different. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go try and get some rest. I suggest you do the same, but if you decide to go see him, I wish you the best of luck. Good night, Twilight. Good night, Spike, and thanks for giving me some advice. You're welcome, even though I know you're going to go over there the second I get upstairs. Spike shakes his head and slowly walks upstairs. Once Spike is upstairs, Twilight leaves her castle and flies over to Starlight's house. Twilight lands in front of Starlight's house and uses her magic to open the front door. Twilight enters Starlight's house. Twilight looks upstairs and notices the lights are on up there. Shadow, it's Twilight. I'm upstairs. Twilight takes a deep breath and walks upstairs. Twilight walks into the master bathroom. Shadow is sitting on the floor attempting to scrub the 4-day-old dry blood puddle off the floor, the puddle that Shadow left after being stabbed by Chrysalis. Being back in here brings back that awful image of seeing you lying in that puddle. I thought you were going to die, Shadow. I saw the light on earlier, and I wanted to come check on you. That, and I couldn't sleep.
Join the club. Starlight broke off our engagement.
Oh no. Shadow, I never meant for my kiss to break you and Starlight up. I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault, Twilight. Starlight blames me for losing our child, and she's hurt that her kiss didn't break Chrysalis's spell on me. She doesn't know that your kiss is what broke the spell. I didn't tell her that. She feels betrayed because she thinks I don't love her anymore, and that's why her kiss didn't work.
Twilight picks up a rag and begins helping Shadow clean up the blood-stained floor. Do you still love her, though?
Of course I do. I don't know why her kiss didn't work. I didn't feel love when she kissed me, though.
The reason I can't sleep, Shadow, is because I can't get the kiss you and I shared today out of my head. Only love can break Chrysalis's spell, which is why I'm confused, because my kiss broke the spell when Starlight's kiss failed. After I broke the spell, you kissed me back. Shadow, for some reason, I knew my kiss would work, would be the one that broke the spell Chrysalis had on you. The only way that would happen is if you were in love with me. So my question is, do you love me, Shadow?
Twilight, please. I don't want to answer that, because I intend to fix things with Starlight.
Please, Shadow. I can't get you out of my head, and I can't sleep because I need to know how you feel.
I can't, Twilight.
Why not?
Because I don't want to hurt you. Regardless of what I feel for you, I feel an obligation to Starlight. She saved my life and brought love back into my life. I can't abandon her, and I refuse to give up on my relationship with her.
Shadow, you either love me or you don't. Stop tiptoeing around my question and just answer it. I just need to hear it, because I know what I felt in that kiss today. You can't deny that you felt it too. Spike was right. Coming here was a huge mistake. Twilight tries to hold off her tears as she leaves the bathroom.
Twilight, wait!
Chases after her.
I love you, all right? I finally admit it. Twilight, I am madly in love with you, but I can't leave Starlight. I can't just abandon her.
Shadow, she already broke off the engagement. My kiss broke Chrysalis's spell. What more do you need to know? Shadow, you can't be happy in a relationship if your heart isn't in it. Why do you think Flash and I broke up?
You don't understand what I'm going through. I would have died on Mobius had Starlight not saved my life with her magic. I owe her my life, Twilight, even if it means I can't be with the mare I really love.